Hi guys, and welcome to Let's Play Guild Wars Eye of the North. This was the last piece of fully priced content to ever be added to the original Guild Wars. And this one deals primarily with sort of introducing the races, the enemies, and just the general plots that we'll be experiencing in Guild Wars 2. Because when they released this was when they decided that their original business model wasn't quite going to work, so they started working on the sequel. So it is, however, an expansion to the first game, so while we'll be looking at all this stuff, it's also, there's going to be a lot of big spoilers for the stuff that's happened previously in this game, and, you know, if you haven't seen or played those, then you might not understand certain things, but it's quite short, but it's also, you know, I personally think it's got the highest production values of anything that Arenanet had put out by that point, so it is really good. I've been looking forward to it, and I know quite a few of you have been as well, so yeah, this should be quite good. I really hope you enjoy watching it, and do you know what, without further ado, let's play.
Ascalon was the gem of Tyria, the center of my world. 6 years ago, my world burned.
Her name is Gwen. This is her story.
Okay, so this is Gwen's story. The end of the world. Her name is Gwen, and this is her story. She was 10 years old when the Searing struck Ascalon. Gwen lost her family, her home, and her childhood in a matter of hours as the sky-summoned fury of the Charr shamans shattered the world around her. Thousands of Ascalonians died that day, and thousands more fled before the Charr invasion. Gwen wandered alone in the wreckage of a nation, searching desperately for the hand of a friend. Instead, she found the Charr. More to the point, they found her. The Charr did not kill young humans, they enslaved them. For 7 long years, Gwen toiled under the constant lash of her taskmasters. As fellow prisoners broke under the strain or were slaughtered out of hand, the embers of fear in her soul sparked into a blaze of hatred. When she finally saw her chance, Gwen fled into the wilderness, vowing never to be enslaved again. She did not make it far. The Charr recaptured her easily. They judged her useless to them. She should have been slain on the spot, but her captors decided she could serve them, at least one more time, as entertainment. The Charr built arenas within their military camps dedicated to the glory of the legions. Inside these cruel stadiums, they set unarmed humans against wild creatures, reveling in the blood sport and applauding as the beasts disemboweled helpless humans. Now it is her turn. She is just another prisoner in a holding pen, awaiting brutal death for mere amusement. She prays for the strength to endure her ordeal, and she prays for the chance to strike back. Okay, so the flight north. Here we go. This is how we're starting my Eye of the North Let's Play. We're actually doing the final bonus mission pack, which I'm actually really happy about starting with. So yeah. We're playing as Gwen here, someone we haven't met for a long time, and Duke Gaban in another cell says, "Finally awake, girl. Trust me, the nightmare of this world is far worse than any you could dream up in your fitful sleep. To date, the Charr plan to feed us to a siege devourer simply for their amusement, but those vile beasts don't realise the extent of my vast knowledge of these lands. At one point, they were a part of my estates. I know a series of tunnels that leads into some old ruins nearby. Beyond that lies freedom. I only need to find a way past that infernal creature to once again breathe the air as a free man." And Dagar, Eye of the Flame, says, "You there, pretty boy, come, show us if you can fight even half as well as you dress." The Gavan says, "Look at that leaning pillar. I think I can knock it over with a rock. My freedom is at hand. If you can escape in the confusion, do so. Farewell." Oh god, okay, so he's running in. Yeah, this guy we knew a long time ago. Oh, and there's the Siege Devourer. And it's thrown, and it it one-hit him. Yeah. What? Over already? Worthless. Such a pity for a man to die as uselessly as he lived. At least he could have entertained us. Perhaps you will provide better sport, little mouse. You always did like to scurry so. Tell me, though, where shall you go now that there's nowhere left to run? No need to answer with words. Your tears will suffice. Wow, okay, so Duke Gaban, yeah, that was a character we knew a long time ago, and he's dead. Just like Gwen, a character we knew a long time ago. In fact, as they were releasing the other campaigns for Guild Wars, sort of over the years, they were adding all of these little clues and hints about what might have happened to Gwen after the series, because we haven't seen her since then. And Eye of the North actually goes over her story. So a lot of fans were really happy to see her reintroduced and find out what she'd become like, you know, in the however many years, what is that, 8 years since pre-series? When we knew her as a little girl. Anyway, so Dagar, the Eye of the Flame, he says, come grovel before me, beg for your life. Show me the desperation in your eyes. No, none of that shall help. I simply wish to savour your fear. So, with Gwen's return, the Charr return as well. Obviously, Eye of the North, by this point, Arenanet knew everything they wanted to do for Guild Wars 2. Well, most of it anyway, story-wise. And the Charr, obviously, are a playable race in the sequel. So, yeah, they're back in the plot and in full force. Anyway, so, right, this is like the arena, and there's a big Devourer catapult at the end here. This is actually a pretty cool boss fight, so find a way to defeat the Siege Devourer. When he tries to hit you, I'll show you, there's lots of Charr around. Alright, so yeah, he sieges you. Fuck, I was hoping to dodge that. And he throws these rocks at you. What you got to do is dodge the sieges, which I very poorly did. I hope I don't die. And then you throw it at this fractured pillar. You can try and throw the rocks at the guy himself. Oh, God. Move. So yeah, they're reasonably easy to dodge. You can try and throw the rocks at him yourself, but it just knocks him over and it doesn't do very much. So you want to be trying to hit this pillar and hope something happens. So he's going to throw another one. So the skills for this one I think are pretty good. A big problem with most of the bonus mission pack things is you get all these new skills but don't really know how they work. On this one you can see we've got 4 that we don't have. We have no weapons or anything. And we actually unlock those other 4 as we go through in a minute. Which is nice because it helps you to learn sort of slowly. Come on, try and hit me. Run. Okay, next one. I can't remember how many hits this pillar takes. I haven't played this for a while, so... Oh, is it going to go? No, it's not gone. Yes, I did see another rock. No, that's not a rock. That's a skull. Is that a skull? Yes, it's a skull. Lovely. Shit. Pathetic even for a human. Yeah, just you wait. Alright, here we go. I think this must be the last one. Come on. Why can't I hit it? There it is. So, you throw the rock. You can only use that second skill when you're holding a rock. Oh, come on. I thought that was the last hit. All boss fights take 3 hits. That's just how it works. That's video game code. Anyway, let's try again. I think this has got to be the last one. We also get a first skill that's a speed boost. So yeah, there we go. And it just squashes the shit out of him. And also breaks open the door to these tunnels Duke Gaban was talking about. Poor guy. Dagar says, impossible! Kill her before she escapes. Wow, just look at this thing. Oh yeah, and the Charr start charging us. Sadly, they're not very... Oh, look at the black... He's got tar for blood. That's wonderful. Yeah, the Charr sadly aren't as fast as they could be. I would have liked it if they were a bit quicker, a bit hotter on your tail. Oh shit, maybe I've been waiting a bit too long. So yeah, this is a bit of a frying pan into the freezer situation. Lots of corpses awaiting us down here. Wonderful. Okay. Oh, shit. No, run that way. Yeah, so lots of corpses. Navigate the underground ruins and find an exit. Oh god, they're coming pretty quick. So you lock yourself in here. Gwen says, must close the gate. And you use the gate lock. And it turns, and ta-da! You lock the Charr out. But was this a good idea? Perhaps we would have preferred to have died. That's all I can say. Cue the ominous music, and yeah. So, where the hell are we? How do we get out? Time to go underground. Lila says... Hello, is someone there? Oh my, you're still alive. I knew the warmth of life once, but then the Charr came. Now I think you'll find you're trapped here with us. Great sorrow encompasses this place, holding us all within its cold embrace. I can't move on, I can't go home. Must relive the sorrow forever. Dalgar says she fled into the ruins, foolish mouse. None who enter that place ever return. Post guards at the exits in case she attempts to be the first. Oh dear. Okay, so yeah, I remember that you kind of have to do some trials in here. Let's see what we can do. You've got to help some like old ghosts that are reliving the past or something. As you go deeper to get back out. Asgan says we must not fall. Only we know what the Charr have planned. If we don't stop them. Okay. I will fight until the last. The Charr cannot sear our lands if my flame burns them first. So you get these 3 ghosts, these old Ascalonians, right? Valise may no longer be with us, but no matter how many Charr we face, remember we are not outnumbered. All of Ascalon stands with us this day. We shall not fail. We shall fight for the lives of our countrymen. We fight for their future. So yeah, these guys all died here, but they knew about the searing. They lost their friend called Valise, Velsi, or however you say that. And yeah, so they've kind of been reliving their torment. They still think it's years ago before the searing even happened. But yeah, so let's go deeper in. This is a little bit of a maze. I hope I don't get lost. Yeah, and to get out, we kind of have to help these guys relive their torment and get sort of over it. Alright, so there's a big dragon thing here. I will say one thing. Now that we're in Eye of the North, Arenanet definitely need a story of Guild Wars 2, like I said. So all these little hints I might have been pointing out before. Oh, does that mean an Elder Dragon? You know, that's a bit debatable because they didn't know about Guild Wars 2 at that time. But there are so many hints in Eye of the North, so many things with dragons on them and stuff that could all easily be references to the Elder Dragons. So we'll just have to see. Anyway, so here's a research journal. I encountered my first Charr today, and my hopes of slowing their assault were quickly dashed. If not for a spell I devised on the spot, I would not have survived this brutal attack. As a horde bore down on me, I manipulated the ether to imbue myself with the vigour of youth. Thus, for a short time, I moved with the sure-footed speed of a child. However, the illusions seldom last, and the body must eventually pay for the follies of the mind. After my narrow escape, I suffered much physical strain, and yet, better than the unthinkable alternatives. So, you find these journals, and these help you unlock the new skills in the mission. So this is Illusion of Haste, which will help us in one of the trials to come. These are real skills. The first 4 aren't, but the other 4 are. So yeah, that will be quite helpful. Right, so what have we got here? The ghosts have reappeared. We've got 2 directions we can go. Send-in says, the Charr strike at us from the shadows amidst the chaos. Ah yes, okay, so there's some Nightmare Charr. These are the Charr that sort of, I assume, killed these people. Scarlet says, curse it all, I need light to aim my arrows. Send in if you notice the way he looks like a flaming scepter mage, if you remember those from ages ago. Asgan says, we must fall back to a more defensible position. So yeah, sadly these guys can't fight the Charr. So Gwen says, what have the Charr done to these poor souls? I must help them move on. Right, so yeah, they can't fight the Charr. We need to help them fight these ghost Charr somehow. What have we got? We've got a long passageway full of spikes which cripple us and do damage to us. So that's where this spell comes in. It helps us remove the cripple and go forward. We've got an unlit torch, and at the other end of the hallway there's a flame brazier, right, but it's not lit. There is a lit one here though, so if we click it we can see that it lights the torch, but you'll see this lit torch here, the flame expires after 30 seconds, so we need to bring it to a brazier to rekindle it. So the goal here is to I quite like this mission because you kind of have to figure these things out yourself and piece everything together. It really is quite fun puzzles here. But yeah, so what we want to do is have this torch. You'll see it go out in a minute. We need to light the brazier at the end of these spikes by using our skills wisely. So you'll see it go out, it's going out, it's going out, it's going out, and it's out. So let's do it. Now the problem of course is that the spikes cripple you. So you want to use any means you possibly can to get rid of the cripple. And for me, I just try and spam Illusion of Haste as best I can to get rid of it. Of course, if you use Flee as well, you're going to move really quick. Come on. Come on. And now this last spike trap, you can decide whether you want to go through it or around it. Generally, it's not too hard. I always go around it. And we can light the other brazier. And now the ghosts have their light. So if we run back over here, you'll see that the traps have been disabled now that we've completed the challenge. Come on, Gwen. You can do it. Good girl. So yeah, now that we come back here, Scarlet says, Balthazar blesses us with his fire. May his hand guide my arrows. These guys also speak to us. They say, we do not fight to be remembered as heroes in the pages of history. We fight to prevent our people, our history, from being burned from the pages of the world. Push the Charr back. So there we go. That's actually the first trial done. We've got a few trials we need to do to help these ghostly guys. So let's come this way. I know that there's other places you can go over there, but if you do this right, you can kind of do it in a big loop, if I remember. So more coffins, an ominous looking tabard thing. Not looking very nice. What else have we got? A big dragon head. Not looking very nice at all. Cobwebs and another research journal. Let's have a look at this. The Charr move through the land with the speed and primal fury of a wildfire. I have begun to realise that simple defences are not enough to slow this onslaught, so I have devised a new spell. It's actually a relatively simple matter to use the ether to alter the perception of an enemy, especially one so primitive as the Charr. In their minds, they believe themselves fatigued, atrophied even, thus slowing their relentless assaults. I only hope it is enough. So we get this skill here, which slows big groups of enemies, and this is what we're going to use in the next trial. So now that we've got it, we come to this door. The ghosts appear. They say, we cannot hold them back without Valise. We must retreat. The doors open and all these nightmare Charr appear. So you want to cast Shared Burden on them, and it slows them down like mad, you see. And it allows your friends to get away, which is pretty great, I think. The other thing quite cool about these is, do you remember in the Realm of Torment we saw all these Charr, but they didn't look like spirits? Well, these ones actually do. By this point in the game's development, they decided to make them. Sendin says, we're not going to make it. We've got to find some way to slow them down. So there's some gargoyles spilling water here. Oh yeah, and then you need to recast it, because as you can see, it's worn off of them. Come back. There we go. So now they're all nice and slow again. The exit is up there on the right, but it's actually blocked off at the moment. We need to get the ghost to help us get through it. So we'll go through there first. We'll do the last trial first. So we've got these big mushrooms. They're all at the door. I assume they've made it. They should be telling me that they've made it. Sometimes this one bugs out. Oh no, it's good. He says we made it. Now we can regroup and figure out our next step. We must live through this. So there we go. Alright, now we've got the last trial. Another research journal. This is where the flame brazier was, by the way. Let's read the journal. Reports of Charr attacks arrive daily, so I have begun researching ways to protect us from these beasts. By focusing the ether around my body, I can create a barrier. It's almost as though the air itself hardens, stopping arrows and deflecting blades. I need more time to perfect the spell, though. It requires an immense amount of concentration to maintain, and lapses in focus allow attacks to slip through. A bigger drawback is the energy loss from exertion. Perhaps I can find some way to compensate for this. We get this skill here, Distortion, and there's a rock and a big long chamber. Now, if I remember correctly, we can come into this room. Lots of bats. There's so many cobwebs. Yeah, there are a lot of spiders in Eye of the North, by the way, guys. And yeah, these things fire like flame darts at you, so you've got to try and run through using Distortion as best you can to block the darts. And when you get to the end, Sendin says, we're trapped. There's loads of nightmare Charr. There's another research journal. We'll read that in a second. And how do we kill the Charr? There's no way we can do it. If you throw a rock, it doesn't do any damage. It just knocks him down. What you need to do is look up at these pillars. And this one's cracked. So you throw it at the cracked support, just like with the Devourer. And hopefully it doesn't break on me. That is one crazy... Oh my god. That is one crazy animation. So yeah, that kills the Charr. Scarlet says, the gods favour us this day. The beasts have fallen. So that was the last trial. These guys can now actually help us get out. Let's read this last research journal, though, because there's actually two kind of sections to this bonus mission. When we get out, it's not going to be very easy. The Charr have come for us. All I can do is try to save my research in the hope that someone can use it to forge a better future for mankind. It was this overwhelming desire to stem the tide that inspired my last spell. I have found a way to use the ether to directly inhibit a foe's mind. The weave is complex, but when properly crafted, the spell slows a foe's actions. It's as if it's moving through molasses. If only this could slow the wave of inevitability about to wash over us. Perhaps some might escape. So that's the last skill. You don't really... I never use it for this mission. Like I said, the next bit is kind of hard, but I never really use it. Anyway, so let's come on out. Yeah, it's a little bit of a walk to get there. I do appreciate, guys, I've kind of thrown you in here. We don't know very much about Gwen. We have no idea what's going on in the present time. What character will I be taking through? And why does the regular Eye of the North storyline start? We will be going to that soon. But sort of as we progress through Eye of the North, we'll learn a lot more about Gwen and sort of what happened to her. I just thought this would be a really good introduction to the LP. So here the ghosts appear for us, and they don't usually appear here. They say, I feel as if I have awoken from a dream. How long were we trapped here, reliving our past failures? Time matters not. This girl has freed us. That alone tells me that our people yet live. Yes, hooray, I did save you. You can thank me later. Is that it? Do you want to say anything else? No? Okay, so they do that, and then inexplicably, this exit is now open. And yeah, it's huge. Ascan says that... Oh, sorry, they are still talking. He says, the Charr still took our lives, but we did not lose the battle. Not so long as the people of Ascalon still fight. Go, little one, leave the past behind. Greater battles lie ahead. So, this is our long walk to freedom, okay? We need to get to that mountain, but... There are a lot of Charr patrolling these fields. This bit of the mission is really awesome. Reach the foothills of the distant mountain, but be wary of Charr patrols. Okay, so I'm actually going to end the episode there, guys. Oh, Gwen says, oh my god, look at all the Charr. Lissa, help me avoid them. Yes, Gwen, okay, we'll do this eventually. But I'm going to end that episode there, guys. Next time, you can see what's going on in the present day. Why is stuff happening? I'll tell you now, lots of earthquakes go all over the land. Loads of stuff happens with earthquakes and sort of all these fissures appear, and we'll be exploring that as we go through. So I will leave you with a small sneak peek at all the stuff that's to come in Eye of the North. I really hope you enjoyed the episode, guys, and I hope to see you next time.
6 years ago, my world burned. We fled before the assault into the unexplored reaches of northern Tyria. Now, the battle continues. We found ourselves in strange, new lands. We confronted unexpected and powerful menaces. We discovered unlikely and unpredictable allies. Now, a new threat from the heart of the world endangers us all. Now the danger runs deep.